Happy New Year, Mr. Sonnen. We know the entertainment era is a very real thing in prize fighting, but I'd like to pose two questions. Can the entertainment era be applied to Olympic sports? If so, how should a young, aspiring Olympian divide time between training and sharpening the skill set versus getting in front of the camera, being eloquent, and getting people to mark out for one's gimmick? And please do send my warm regards to Cousin Patrick.
Well, young man, you are off to a great start, and you have come to the perfect person to ask this question of, and I appreciate that. And I will tell you the one thing that any athlete has to do from an entertainment standpoint, right? Because it is a show, and we can believe that it's a sport, and we can believe that it's a game, and there's a time period. All of those things are true, but ultimately, if you want to be in front of the camera, and ultimately people are sitting down in their living rooms to watch you, it's because there's a show. So when you're trying to do a show, I would encourage you not to be a showman, which means just be who you are and don't lie. The camera will see through it. You are not going to outsmart the audience. I have done a very good job in my own right, if I might shine my own wheels, but I feel you know that, which is why you came to me. I've never pretended to be something I'm not. I am the single greatest combat athlete of all time who has simply never lost. But I would never make something up for the audience. I would look like a fool and they would see through it. So I come out and I'm not afraid to brag about it. I'm not afraid to say I did it over 20 years at 3 different weight classes. That did separate me from the pack. Some people find that very off-putting. Some people think one should not brag. Why would you not brag? Why would you not boast? Feels very good when somebody pats you on the back or tells you good job, or a coach hands you, or an event official puts a medal around your neck. It feels very good. What would be wrong with that? And I got to tell you, as you're going through your career, you're going to have to check yourself a number of times. Because if you ever find yourself talking about something that you did in the past, it's over. If you ever find yourself talking about that day that you went off the beam or that you had that great floor routine, by example, and you're not talking about now and what's next, then that is in the past. It's over. And a lot of athletes will get trapped in that. Look, you can have had a great career, but if you're talking about that game-winning pass that you threw sophomore year and it's now senior year, it's now behind you. So it's just one of these things that you've got to stay on top of. I would encourage you, there's 3 things that need to be done in victory or defeat. But the 3 things that you want to do, you want to make sure you're not caught doing. Don't ever do them publicly, but they need to happen. First is making an excuse. People are very quick to come out and they want to give an excuse. An excuse and a reason is a very slippery definition. If there are reasons that you need to go and sit down with your team and lay in bed as you're staring up at night trying to figure out why did this happen to make sure that it doesn't happen again, it's very important that you deduce and you figure out why you did not get the result that you wanted. To publicly make an excuse is just going to turn everybody away. It now makes you look weak. People don't want to stop what they're doing to be around or encourage or watch or take in or sensationalize weak people. So don't make them publicly, but make sure after each competition you find out the reason. What was the reason that score wasn't as high as it could have been? And a bigger mistake people will make is they will only do this when they lose, as opposed to in victory. They will think that everything is smooth sailing as long as they got that blue ribbon. When the reality is there was many things within that performance that could have been done even better. You still need to find what those are, but you need to do it privately. And second is an outburst. Don't ever have any type of physical outburst. Don't grab a trophy and throw it. Don't kick a garbage can over. Don't go destroy your locker room. Don't have any kind of a physical outburst publicly. But if you need to put your face in the pillow when you get back to the room and just scream and let it out and nobody ever sees it happening, as a way of bringing closure to that chapter, letting that energy and that emotion out, turning the page and moving forward, you feel free to do it. And most importantly is don't look back. So many people will look back. Why did I do this? Why did I take this on? Am I with the right coaches? Am I in the right training situation? Should have I ever signed the contract and said yes in the first place? Put myself at risk, and now I have this terrible feeling because it didn't go my way, or I could have just quit and sat it out. It's the old Homer Simpson joke. You'll never fail if you never try. There's a lot of truth to that. Don't look back, only look forward. And above everything else, if you can't remember those 3 things, and if this video has somewhere gone in one year and out the next, just always remember this. Don't ever act surprised when you win. And don't ever show anybody that you're bothered when you lose.